Hello Power Rangers Lightning Collection fans, and welcome back to Lightning Storm, the series where lightning always strikes twice as we talk about everything that has happened in the past week for the Power Rangers Lightning Collection. So, we have a couple things to talk about. We really don't have like a ton of stuff this week because of course we had the Hasbro POST-FANSTREAM this past Tuesday, which gave us a ton of Lightning Collection news, so if you guys have not seen the recap episode for that, or the reaction stream for that, be sure to check those out on the channel right now. However, just like we usually do with these events, you know, whenever I do the recap episodes on the days of them, there's always a couple like little things that happen afterward to kind of regroup on or kind of just recap over. So we have a couple things to talk about there and some stuff that had pretty much nothing to do with the fan stream to also talk about. So let's go ahead and get right on into it. So first up for this week, we have sort of the namesake of this episode, which usually I don't start the episodes out with the kind of the main story, but there's not still a ton to talk about with this story anyway, but it's still exciting nonetheless, and that is Koda is finally here. So the final member of Wave 13, the Dino Charge Blue Ranger figure, which for whatever reason never released back in November with the rest of his Wave mates, is finally out. And we've had one of those very quick like, oh, he's starting to trick, and okay, I guess he's out, you know? So, like, basically, we talked about, like, a week ago, or whenever this was, that Big Bad Toy Store had changed his release date to this month of January, but we hadn't actually seen any of those, like, shipping out emails or anything like that. And then out of nowhere, which actually, technically, this happened right before last week's episode of Lightning Storm, like last Saturday's episode. By that point, I had already uploaded the episode, and I wasn't going to throw it in there just yet, but we had an unboxing video done by Lord Krydos, who actually did a full little unboxing of Dino Charge Blue, and I believe that he was from, I want to say it was Germany that this figure came out in, and he actually was able to provide us some really nice team shots with him with the rest of the Dino Charge Rangers. And if you were curious if the pinless body was actually going to make it to the final release for Koda, it has, so it is still very much the same kind of male Dino Charge mold that we've had since Wave 1 with Dino Charge Red, but they did make sure to make him pinless like the promo pictures showed and the renders showed, which some people were kind of thinking that maybe they weren't, or maybe that's why he got delayed, or not even delayed, but maybe that's why he showed up after everybody else because he was a little bit different. But regardless, Koda's figure is finally out somewhere, and he completes the Core 6 Dino Charge team members, and I'm very, very excited to get this guy. And it was a pretty quick turnaround time because he's also already releasing in the US, so Big Bad Toy Store has started to send out those processing emails for the pre-orders and charging people and shipping them out and everything. He is also, as of the last time that I checked, listed as currently in stock on Big Bad Toy Store. But then the surprising thing, or this happens sometimes, but Amazon changed their release date from March 1st to today, the day that you're seeing this episode if you're watching it when it goes up, Saturday, January 21st. So he hasn't started shipping out from Amazon yet. I changed my pre-order from Hasbro Pulse to Amazon right after the date change thing happened. Mine still says March 1st, but they have started to send out those updated shipping emails for some people, so for the dates, so we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. There will be a link in the description below to both Big Bad Toy Store for him and Amazon using one of my Amazon affiliate links, which if you use that to get him, it does also save you a little bit of money because he's cheaper on Amazon than he is on Big Bad Toy Store, and it helps out the channel if you use that link, so that's always appreciated. But I'm very happy to finally get Koda here to not only complete the Core 6 Dino Charge, but also to finally complete Wave 13 as we move into the Wave 14 era of stuff, because we already have things like Mesogog released overseas as well, so mindset is kind of on Wave 14, so it's nice to finally see Wave 13 kind of be done, even though it hasn't hit stores yet. That's like the next step. We really need to get Wave 13 out there on the shelves, and that just doesn't seem to be happening anytime soon, but maybe, now that we have this one out there, we can finally get the rest of them out there, and people can finally start getting this wave, like not just from Big Bad Toy Store, which would be nice to see. As for the rest of Wave 13, they have not moved their release dates up on Amazon, but they are still listed as in stock on Big Bad Toy Store, so if you wanted, you can get the entire Wave 13 there as of right now. Things might change with that if people are trying to order them or something, and now that we have all of them, people might be trying to get the whole wave at once or something like that, so I'm not exactly sure if they'll still be listed as in stock when this episode comes out, but the links will be in the description below, so you can give it a shot. The next two stories for this week both have something to do with the fan stream, so we're going to go ahead and start with what wasn't at the fan stream. So we have a couple little updates, not a crazy amount of updates, but some little updates for Lost Galaxy Yellow and some updates for SPD Yellow. So first of all, we'll start with Lost Galaxy Yellow because there's less updates to talk about for her, and that is that GameStop Ireland has finally removed the listing that leaked here about a week before the fan stream. So they did not announce her at the fan stream. They did talk about how they had one last member of Lost Galaxy to release, but they said stay tuned for that, so we didn't get to see an official reveal or official pre-orders from Maya. We don't know when we will. We still don't know if she is a GameStop exclusive in the US or not. I really don't know the answer to that question yet. However, when she was up on GameStop Ireland, she was listed as a February 13th release date, which there's really no way of knowing if that's actually going to be true or not, so I guess we'll just kind of keep an eye out. Now, it was pointed out, because we're kind of speculating right now, that we could potentially be kind of building a Yellow Ranger themed capsule at GameStop. We don't know if all this stuff is going to be at GameStop, but like, you know, we kind of have a lot of yellow products that they need to show off, like SPD Yellow, Lost Galaxy Yellow, the upcoming Mighty Morphin Yellow helmet. And it coincidentally, or maybe not so coincidentally, April 21st is apparently National Yellow Day, and that's going to be very close to the release of the Once and Always special, so maybe we would get some kind of, there's a big Yellow Ranger focus in that special, so maybe we would get some kind of Yellow Ranger themed something around then. I don't feel like they would wait till April to reveal this stuff, because we have all the pictures and everything of it. I almost feel like maybe they would reveal it like in February or something, and they would maybe release in April. I don't know, but it's still very strange that we didn't get Lost Galaxy Yellow or SPD Yellow or Invisible Phantom Ranger, but we're kind of focusing more on the Yellow Rangers themed stuff right now at the fan stream, so I don't know what's going on with that. Now, as for SPD Yellow, we had that one new promo shot leaked right before the event, which, of course, comes from our good old friend on Lightning Storm recently, Half on Twitter, so that's great. So we have another promo shot, I don't exactly know where that comes from. However, we have a little bit of new information for SPD Yellow, and that's her product number. And if you remember this product number, you might recall it, if I don't know how much anybody keeps track of the listings and stuff like I do, but this is the number that matched up to that PRG Dante code that was on the bill of lading last week, that I had speculated was maybe the Yellow Ranger helmet. It's not the Yellow Ranger helmet, it's SPD Yellow. So we can now match that up, I guess, at least, but we still don't know exactly where she's going to be sold either. But other than the fact that you can expect both Yellows to be store exclusives, and probably Invisible Phantom Ranger as well, but I have no idea where any of them are going to be sold, when Hasbro's going to reveal them, or whatever it may be. So that's all the stuff that we didn't see at the stream, but we do have a couple updates of the stuff that we did, so let's go to move over to that. So speaking of stuff that we did see at the fan stream, we have a couple of little updates for all that kind of stuff, starting with Dino Thunder Black from Wave 14. So, as would probably be expected because of the passing of JDF and also just the fact that he's a Tommy figure and the fact that Dino Thunder Black is probably one of the most popular iterations of Tommy, he very quickly sold out on Hasbro Pulse for pre-orders, so they had to open up a second window of pre-orders for him, which are now listed at a July 1st release date for him. However, he's still listed as a June 1st release date with the rest of his wave mates on most other retailers, including Amazon, so the Amazon affiliate link for him will be down in the description below, alongside all the other links from Tuesday. I'm just going to copy and paste them all from that description to this one, so if you wanted to pre-order the Tenga Warrior 2-pack, or Wave 14, or the Remastered figures Wave 1, all of those are going to be in the description below, and you can still pretty much pre-order all of them. Now, speaking of other stuff for the stuff that we saw on Tuesday, and specifically thinking of the Tenga Warrior 2-pack, we had talked about how they didn't necessarily specify where the colors came from. All we got in there, and I'll play a little clip here right now, is all we got was Jordan saying this about the color scheme.
It comes with the two Tengas in two different color variations. So you have a green version and a blue version, as well as their corresponding two sets of hands and two sets of wings and two blast effect pieces. We know that you guys love these figures, we love these figures, and so we wanted to make sure that you could get them army builder style in a 2-pack with some really cool variations to change things up on your shelf.
So like that kind of implies that they just kind of did it to do it, but then again we have this tweet for the official kind of reveal of it, or official like post about it from the Power Rangers account that says, "Beware the birds, Ranger Nation, the movie Lightning Collection Tenga Warriors pack comes loaded with everything you need to recreate your favorite scenes from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Pre-order yours now." So that implies that they are movie-based Tenga Warriors. Now we've had a couple different movie-based like products in the Lightning Collection that aren't movie-related. Like basically the Power Morphers, the Yellow and Pink Ranger ones, are very clearly inspired by the designs from the movie. They are movie morphers, that's just what they are, and they do hint towards that in the descriptions for everything. But they can't, it's like, we don't really know exactly what the whole deal is with it, but apparently they can't, like, outright say that these are from the movie, so, like, maybe that's what's happening with the Tenga Wars. I don't think the Tengas look any different in the movie, really. Well, they kind of do, but they don't really look color-wise different from the movie to the show, so I have no idea what that's supposed to be about, but I guess these are technically a movie figure. It's weird. I don't really know what's going on with the Tenga Warrior 2 pack. I've never really known. It's such a strange release to me, but it's a thing, I guess. Speaking of the Tengas and the remastered figures, those seem to be some of the only figures that went up on not really wide retail, but on multiple different retailers in the UK. So I'm still trying to figure out exactly what's going on with this, but it seems like, from as far as I can tell, Wave 14 didn't go up on any UK retailer except for Hasbro Pulse. So it's looking like Wave 14 could potentially be a Hasbro Pulse exclusive in the UK. We've been seeing this problem happen for a lot of different waves that are supposed to be retail stuff, where other stores are just not, either Hasbro isn't letting them order stuff, or they get a very small number of them. And I think even some of the stores said that they got a pretty small number of Tengas and Remastered as it was. So I really hope that's not the case, because it really sucked for Power Rangers fans in the UK if Lightning Collection became a Pulse exclusive like they do for G.I. Joe Classified. But it looks like we could potentially be going in that direction, which would not be fun. Back to Wave 14 for a moment. We did get to see that Dennis, always bumping on Twitter, was the sculptor behind the Mesogog figure, so really happy to see that he did this one. He did some of the best Lightning Collection figures so far. He did Blue Centurion, he did Finster, now he did Mesogog. Like, anytime Dennis does one of these figures, it just turns out, like, perfect. I absolutely love his sculpting talents, and it's really cool to see that whenever he does do a figure, he posts about it. So we got to see all these cool 3D renders of the Mesogog figure, kind of a work in progress kind of thing, and I love that kind of thing. So really cool to actually get, put a name to the person who designed these things. That's always really fun to do. I wish they would kind of shout them out more during the streams, like when Tom did artwork and stuff like that, or when Dennis does sculpting. It'd be cooler to get those mentions out there in the streams, but still, it's cool that they are allowed to then post about it themselves and kind of get their own names out there for the work that they've done, and that I hope that they get the credit that they deserve, because it's just really impressive work, and Mesogog turned out really good. And then the final thing to talk about in relation to anything we talked about on Tuesday is we do have a different angle of that Rangers in Rita's Moon Palace with those potentially Lightning Collection figures in the background picture. So we talked about this in the recap episode on Tuesday, where it appears like Robo Rita for the special is like draining Power Rangers powers or kidnapping Rangers or something, and there's some kind of action figure looking embodiment of the powers, or it's maybe the characters themselves in the background, and they just seem to be Lightning Collection figures that they're using as props. And we talked about how it looked like maybe Turbo Red was shown there, or maybe something else, but we also get to see this better angle here where we can clearly see that right next to Rocky there we have Lost Galaxy red, blue, and green. It's really kind of hard to make out everything else, but the one right below it, the red one, is the one that we think could be Turbo Red. It's very hard to tell exactly. This picture is even worse quality than the last one that we had, and that one was pretty good quality. But if you think you can see any other Ranger colors or suits in this picture that we don't have in Lightning, or that we do have in Lightning, maybe you can. I don't know. But I just wanted to put the picture in there regardless, because I still think this is really cool. I really hope that we get like a good angle of this in the special, because I really want to see, are these actually Lightning Collection figures? And if they are they showing ones that we have not had revealed yet? Because I think that it's certainly possible that they are doing that here, and that's just so fascinating to me. And I love the idea of it too, about these being props. I think that's a really cool thing. It makes me even more hyped for the special when it releases on April 19th. For the final story of the week here, we have a possible update to the Cobra Kai figures, or just kind of in general. So if you didn't see yesterday, Netflix teased that they are going to be releasing a 6th season of Cobra Kai, which is going to be the final season of Cobra Kai on their streaming service. Now, they didn't give a specified date for this, but we kind of got the first wave of Cobra Kai figures about a month or so, 2 months or so after the release of season 5, and we don't know exactly how long it's going to be till season 6 comes out, but we are waiting for the other 2 Cobra Kai figures to finally make their appearances known. Now, after doing some digging, we have 3 new listings from the Target system to talk about here, which are going to be popping up on screen right now, and that is PRG Centerville, PRG Woodland, and PRG Clinton. So I'm going to go ahead and exclude Woodland for a second, because PRG Centerville and PRG Clinton are what you're seeing the DCPIs for and the price points up there right now. Those are the same price points as the other 3 Cobra Kai figures, and the other 3 Cobra Kai figures all followed a codename system that was PRG with a word that began with C. So I'm fairly confident that those 2 listings are for the other 2 Cobra Kai figures. We have no idea what these ones are going to be specifically, other than the fact that they're going to be from Eagle of Fame, because that was the whole thing that Loretta teased. So if you needed more confirmation that we're going to get at least 2 more Cobra Kai figures, at least now we more than likely have the listings to back them up. Woodland though, so Woodland, there's the DCPI for that one, has a $33.99 price point. Now I would say that this is more than likely probably not a Cobra Kai figure, but I don't know what it is. It's definitely, it's obviously a deluxe price pointed thing, so it could be like another monster or something. It might be a Target exclusive, it also might not be a Target exclusive, it could just be another deluxe thing that leaked from the Target system first. I have no idea, but basically we have those 3 new listings that come from Target that I figured would be, I guess somewhat helpful, at least maybe the DCPIs or the price points would. This is like a perfect example of what I try to strive to do here on Lightning Storm with all my leaks, is that even if we don't know who these are, it can tell you that 3 more Lightning Collection things are coming at these specific price points, so you can save up for them if you think it might be something you might want, or it doesn't blindside you when Hasbro announces them, and you can have the money for them. Even though they would announce it and you still have months to save up for these things regardless, I like to tell you about them as soon as I can, or as soon as I find something. And here's 3 new listings that are probably 2 other Cobra Kais that we know are coming, and something else that is, like I said, probably not Cobra Kai, but I guess it technically could be, but probably not. So we have those 3 new listings that I wanted to share with you all before we wrap up this episode. So now that we have those new listings and the fan stream has come and gone, here is the updated version of the leak chart, which just removes everything that we've seen in the past week and everything like that, and just kind of updates a couple like little things and everything, and kind of keeps everything up to date. So that's everything that we know about for the Lightning Collection so far that Hasbro has not officially told us. Still a lot of stuff on the horizon. I'm very excited to see what else they have planned for 2023. I think they had a really good way of kicking off the year with the fan stream. I think they're definitely in better graces right now than they have been pretty recently for Lightning Collection with the team from Hasbro, and I'm pretty excited to see what they have to offer for the anniversary. And with that, that is going to do it for this week's episode of Lightning Storm. Of course, as always, I'd like to know your guys' thoughts down in the comments below about anything I talked about this week. And of course, you can also follow me on Twitter at LivingRangerKey or LightningFigPR. And I'll see you all in Lightning Storm, the series where lightning always strikes twice. To wrap up this video, I'd like to thank my $5 and above patrons: Jurassic Samurai, Maggot Alchemist, Robert Browning, Static Thunder, Brendan Overland, Maji Yellow, Redstone MCPC, Comics 1017, James Doherty, Monster Rocket, John Luke, Eric Berry, Tyler Bazetsky, Matthew Thorne, and Josh Landry. You can support Toku Topics for as little as $1 a month on my Patreon, link in the description below.